Cloud services represent an interesting service made available through the Azure environment. Cloud services are the actual oldest service that's available. This is really the first thing that was available within the Azure environment many years ago. And it's based on the Windows Communication Foundation, or WCF, infrastructure and concepts by and large, although you can host standard web applications within it as well. And cloud services also represent the most detailed and the most granular control that you have over a platform as a service offering within Azure. They can also be the most complex to work with. There's a lot of configuration that you can do and that you have to do to get a cloud service operating properly. But they also do give you that very high level of power, or maybe low level depending on which way you look at it. They give you a lot of power. Now, the cloud services to some extent have been superseded by the app concept. The web app I mentioned, the mobile app, the API app, the logic app. Those are all things that have been built that are a bit newer and that are a bit easier to use. But with the cloud service, you have a couple of advantages. One, as I said, you're going to have the most level of control with that. And also, it's the most stable. It's been around for pretty much ever, at least as far as Azure is concerned. Now, what are some of the features of a cloud service? One is that you can have virtual machines associated with cloud services, and you have a lot of control from a configuration standpoint on how virtual machines are created. You create roles in a cloud service, and then within those roles, you can define how many and what type of virtual machines that you want. So not only can you associate virtual machines with it, but it also lets you scale up and have load balancing within your application. And you can have that segmented. I could have multiple roles and scale different roles different ways, creating multiple virtual machines as needed within my cloud service. Right? And you can deploy cloud services. They have packages. There are pretty straightforward paths to deploying them, whether it's directly through Visual Studio, or if you create a package from Visual Studio and then a system administrator uses maybe PowerShell to deploy that. There is a very well-defined and, as I said, very mature path for deploying these. When you are making a decision as to put, whether or not to put, or not whether or not, hopefully you are making a decision to put a cloud or a web-based workload into Azure, you will need to understand both what the cloud service gives you as well as the web apps and the app in general, and determine which of those is going to be most appropriate for the workload that you've got.